Hello everyone, I'm Heron, and this is the video changelog for CP Sweetheart Alpha 3. Now, quite a bit has changed since Alpha 1, a lot has changed since Alpha 1, and you might have noticed that I skipped Alpha 2. The reason why I skipped Alpha 2 is because there weren't many impactful changes, and I didn't get much feedback, so I just decided, hey, why not release a new version with the feedback I already have, and hope it floats. So, one of the biggest inspirations, one of the biggest changes is definitely Last. As you can tell, Last is now on a downslope instead of an upward climb. I got some feedback that Blue just had a constant upward slog throughout the entirety of the map, and I wanted to fix that because that's not fun. And yeah, I tried to make it that Blue has more of an advantage pushing into Last, and I hope this works. So, Last itself has been dramatically changed. I completely gutted Last and tried to keep the core concepts of it, but I basically deleted the whole thing and relayed the brushwork, and I'm actually really happy with it. There's this, I changed it, also I got rid of the vent. The vent was really annoying, really tight. It's still a drop down, but now it's a bit less annoying, and also it's a pretty okay sniper sideline. So, this whole Last area I'm pretty happy with. I have gotten some feedback from posting screenshots that it's a bit small, but we'll have to see. I am hoping that these open side areas and just the general size of the place will be manageable and won't be too annoying or tight. I also got a bunch of feedback that this doorway in particular was just very easy to spam out. Now, I haven't changed the doorway at all. It's actually smaller. It's actually slightly shorter to prevent a really nasty sideline. But I don't think it's too big of a problem because, as a whole, this doorway isn't actually a main route. This is the route that most people take, which I realize might not be a good thing. I might want to route more people into the actual main area. But, I don't know. We'll see. I like this. I also added more health and ammo around the map, which is very useful because you could barely defend on this map at all. It was more so just hoping you can just stay long enough to defend Last because it was so easy to defend. First was impossible to keep afloat, and hopefully adding some more health and ammo to support defenders will help just keep the matches going on longer and more people having fun. I want to make sure that you can always have fun in these maps, even if they're bad. And so, anyways, about Last. So, all the feedback about Last was just about how tight it was and how annoying it was just as a whole to get around in. And I can't help but agree. So, what I did was I made it that the control point is more centered. So, there's just this ramp that goes straight to the point, and there's some more side routes that you can take just on the fly, because you gotta make sure when you're mapping that whenever a player goes to an area, they need to make multiple decisions always. They always need to go, okay, what do I do here? Okay, what do I do here? What do I do there? If you don't do that, your players will just be funneled into your area, and it might be a bit confusing for them, but if you do it too much, then, again, they'll be confused. So you gotta find a good middle ground. So, I'm also really happy with this flank route. Someone told me that it would be a really good idea to just add a small flank behind the point just so you aren't just all funneled into one area. Now, it does lead out to the exact same spot, but it's some leeway, and I could see some sneaky teleporters being put here that could really shake up gameplay. And I can't wait to see what it's like to be played around here. It's probably not going to be used much, but the times that it is going to be used is going to be pretty interesting. Now, red spawn is kind of... I'm not sure how much I like this, because it's kind of tight getting out of this main area, but it's mainly just to prevent two things, which is sniper sightlines, specifically this one, which could go all the way to spawn, which is not fun, and also is to prevent engineers from being able to just use the rescue ranger and just shoot at their guns that are just right here on the point. And yeah, that wasn't fun at all, and I wanted to change that. Also, this back route is a bit bigger. I don't know if I like this or not. I don't know if a lot of people are going to use it. People are probably going to complain because this door is the closest door that people will always go out of first, and it's a waste of time. So I'll probably make that route less obvious. Maybe make it a smaller door or something along those lines. And that is all for last. So let's go over to the first point. We're going out of order today. So with the first point, some pretty big changes happened between the two versions. First of all, I closed the cave. The cave had a huge issue of just pouring players out into the first point, and red could not get a foothold. It was not fun for anybody, and blue steamrolled first point. There was no way for red to actually stay at this point. So I completely removed this cave exit. The cave is still here, but now it funnels you a bit into this general area, so the players are easier to manage, which is nice because you don't want to output straight to the point. That's not fun. And again, I want the map to be fun. So also I added a no build to this ramp here. So I had a huge issue where engineers would place their teleporters right on this ramp, and players would get caught up on it because teleporters are the only buildings that you can actually collide with your own team for obvious reasons. So I made it that there's just exclusively a teleporter no build on this ramp, and I guess it could be kind of rude to put it there for engineers who kind of want an engineer, but that's what this gap's for. That's what this cubby is for. So it balances out. Also, I made this rock smaller over here because I realized that snipers, they really didn't have much area. They do have this little upper area here, but I wanted there to be at least one more little sniper area ever since I removed the cave, because snipers could hang out back here and get some headshots, but now they don't really have that option. So I just decided to open this area up a tiny bit more, and I like how it turned out. Also, I added this door here that opens after A is captured. I had a lot of problems with scouts flanking behind red, and no one knew that the scout was there, so I just decided to put this door here. It's kind of a temporary fix. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. It's kind of I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It might stay, it might leave. So that is most of the major changes, but there are some more minor changes, such as that the map was not packed in Alpha 1. Meaning that there were pink checkerboards for most people and invisible textures for other people. And that's a barrel of fun, ain't it? And as you can imagine, no one wants to see pink checkerboards. No one wants that. That's not cool. So hopefully that's fixed. And I mean, it was fixed in Alpha 2, so we'll see. Also, I raised this fence here. This fence, again, sniper sightlines. I decided that just to make this fence taller, and it really fixes everything. Sometimes you don't need to go with these huge, lofty, complicated solutions. Sometimes you could just, you know what, there's a fence here, you just slap another fence on top of it. Because, hey, whatever works, right? And I added some more signage to the entire map, because I realized that people were complaining. It's like, okay, I don't know that this is the first point, which could just be a general me problem. They probably should have made it more obvious that the point is there, but I guess there are some pretty obvious hints, but it just makes it a bit more streamlined, and people appreciate it. And that looks like that's it. This is CP Sweetheart Alpha 3, and I guess technically Alpha 2. And, oh yeah, also, before I go, nobody uses these props. I know I said it about the old distillery props that are over here, but nobody uses these. They're also from Well, by the way. So, just take this as a lesson. Nobody uses props from Well. I'm Heron. See y'all later.